Hey there. I'm finally here. Let's see if I can get this little letters. Whatever. Glasses are crooked. And you can see some glare. Sorry about that. I do this because I want to sit where I want to sit. Hello, hello. It's Coyote here. Coming to do some cards tonight. And guess it could go that way, right? The halo light. The halo light would be nice. I look like I'm a robot. That light. That must be. Oh, just bear with me just a second. Better. Better. Somewhat better. Star. How come it does look like one? I'm not sure. Better, maybe. Okay. Hello, everybody. Tonight's theme, I wanted to do emotions, health, next step wisely. How we might learn if our body is going through stuff, whether it looks like a cold or broken arm or operation or hello Deb, or something that is significant in the moment, in the now. It's not real. It has your attention. So it could be a cold, it seems like your allergies, your something, maybe your nails look funny, maybe you just fell down, you have a cut in a certain place on your body. For me, it's toenail fungus and infection, in skin infection. And I wanted to see what the cards might bring up in terms of how the cards are supporting our emotions and health and the launch of us into our next steps. Is how we can think of our self energetically as the not only as the perhaps iconic cards, archetype cards themselves, but what they might be pointing to or telling us via their nobility and our own way of seeing a current now, a present now situation, which is always temporary because is now, is now, is now, is now, is now, is now. Oh, that was now. That was then now. But now I'm different. I'm different now than I was that now over there. Over there. So I wanted to bring what is really more dominant right now in my mind is for suggesting that you could either buy You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. You could go online and actually Google what Louise Hay would say. Like, let me just use this as an example because her book may come up. So, what does Louise Hay have to say about fungus infections? Okay. Let's see if it comes up here because let's see, the healer is always within. That's not quite it. This might be it. Maybe it's just coming up differently because it's on my, it's on my phone. About Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, show the book. Well, it's an audiobook. Let's see, You Can Heal Your Life. It's not coming up the way that I want it to. That's going to be tough. Okay. What does Louise have to say with okay. Now what Louise? I'm going to put this down and go by memory. So, for example, in my case, toes are small, so they're representing details. Fungus are irritations. Depression, for example, is anger that's directed inward about not stepping up to the future. And the fungus and the toes, in terms of connecting, they were connecting like not getting on with the new. And it has to do with like holding on to some parts of the past. So anyway, I don't have the exact link. I did have it this morning. In fact, if you give me a second, I'll disappear and I'll tell you exactly what it is. Okay, 1 second. I hope you can still hear me. Let's see. So I'm on a Louise Hay page and I see all the list of controls of symptoms. So I'm just trying to get to the beginning of it so we can. Symptom list. Okay, symptom list. All right. Thank you. So I was looking at the symptom list of Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. So if we put that in, maybe we'll see it in just one see. The symptom list of Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. So she has this book that's been around for a long time. Let's see. Maybe that will have it. Oops, this is going to be a YouTube. And that's not what I want to do. I still think I was. Let's see. I didn't quite catch the link, I guess. There we go, the list. All right, so on your phone, it will come up differently. If you have a laptop or computer, you'll actually see the list. And I think you can actually open the whole book. There is an audio book on YouTube. You don't have to get Audible. You Can Heal Your Life. So you can actually read or hear her whole story. And probably in the back, it might do the list of symptoms. So let's put like taking me, and we're going to go through what the cards may have to say. But she lists, under A, for example, abdominal cramps, abscesses, accidents, Alzheimer's disease. Those are just a few examples. Under B, there's blackheads, bleeding gum, boils. C, calluses, cancer, candida, carbuncles, cholesterol. There's only a few examples, there's a ton. D, deafness, disease, depression. E, ears, elbow, exothropia, that's eye problems. Endometriosis. F, face, fainting, fatigue, female problems, and a list. Whole more. G, gallstones, glandular problems, goiter, gonorrhea. H, halitosis, heart. C, blood, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hepatitis. There's so much more. And I, impotency, incontinence, incurable, indigestion, infection. So there's all of that. J, jaundice, jaw problems, joints, keratitis, kidney stones. L, laryngitis, left side of body. Interesting, left and right side of body. So, okay. Malaria, myocardial infection, lots of M's, lots of N's, nails, nail biting, narcolepsy, nausea. O, osteomyelitis, ovaries, overweight. P, Paget's disease, phlebitis, pimples, pink eye, plantar rot, poison ivy, the whole list. Q, Quincy, and it has a big long word. It all has to do with sore and tonsils and such. R, rabies, rash, arthritis, rickets. Sagging S, sagging lines, shingles, shoulder problems, spinal, meningitis, spine, spleen, sprains. T, tapeworm, teeth, testicle, tetanus, thymus, thyroid, U, ulcers, urinary infections, etc. That V, vaginitis, Um, this more is there's a lot of vaginal relationship type issues with the V, varicose veins, venereal disease, W, warts, weakness, whiteheads, etc., etc. Y, yeast infections. I don't have a Z. But if you go, I don't see if you can really see it. So right there, sort of. When you go, you would click on one of these, and let's say, let me pick up something relevant to my conversation. So, does it have it? Does it? I thought I could do this. So it's changing. I have to click here. So now we have, okay. So once it says like A, B, or C, and it says click here, we press on the click here. And what we're going to find is so fungus, stagnating beliefs, refusing to release the past, letting the past rule the day. Affirmation, this is really good for me. Maybe it'll be good for you, regardless. I live in the present moment, joyous and free. I live in the present moment, joyous and free. So what I wanted to do was pick a card on emotions, health, how they're related to our next steps to go forth wisely. And I wanted to see what the cards would come out with just to support any of us going through any emotions stored in the body become disease. And it could be sadness. Let me just even go back for a second. I just want to even go back for a second. Because we have depression here, so let's see if there's an S for sadness. Okay, I don't see sadness, but I know there's, and I'm not saying any of you are depressed, but this will give you there are moments sometimes I'll feel nano moments of depression or what am I doing with my life? And I'll have to re-talk to myself. So if we're feeling very unhappy to the point of what we might call depression, on her list, it says, anger you feel you do not have a right to. So anger you feel you do not have a right to have. Hopelessness. I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. I create my own. I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. I create my own life. Excuse me. That makes a lot more sense. I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. I create my own life. So it's interesting, right? As energy beings, we also may wake up in certain states or all of a sudden feel certain states. So we may be taking on that energy. And if we do for that moment, it is ours because we're not sure where it came from. We have to talk to ourselves saying it does not come to me. I am fully expressed. And saying things like, I'm in my perfect place. Or saying things like, I create my own life, happy and free. So I just want to take a look at what the cards and archetype have to say. I did pull a tarot card. I have no idea yet what it means, so I'm going to share that. I do want to get my other cards and just pull it all together. And I'm not really looking for this whole, from the cards, that necessarily having this whole huge list, but together we could take some numbers away and we could just see, the few cards it might give us, whether it's 2, 3, 4, just to see how these tarot complement the oracle cards. Because I think it's worth taking a look at when you have a cold, when you feel uncertain, when you feel a disruption around you and a judgment for that disruption and how it feels in the body. And so through Louise Hay's list, you could sort of have this tool, if you will, to kind of look up some things that will help you, slide into and uplifted state, or at least a better state than you may have that second. Now, granted, in that second, you may have forgotten what to do, or you may forget about the tool. So that is why this conversation. And I'm doing this, for example, because I'm going through this irritation and wondering about my life and, seemingly not having moved fast enough on my journey because I've been afraid to leave what I know, even though it is the end for me. Like I am leaving no matter what, because that is what spirit wants me to do. And I want me to do, and spirit wants me to do. So it's a back and forth circle. And I'm going to have to be on the road and go. There are a couple of people I'm trying to connect to who may have other connections in Florida, and I'm being super open to connections. As a segue today, I drove someone to the Boston Logan Airport who is going to Boynton Beach, Florida to visit someone for 2 or 3 days, an unexpected trip. I said to this woman, if you don't feel pressure and if it could or might come up, would you be willing to take one of my cards? And I had not my psychic cards, I had my art cards available. And I said, perhaps share this with the friend you're seeing and maybe have a conversation. I'm looking to rent a place, a small cottage, something affordable. I mean, if it even comes up or as a kind of some interest to talk about. And so therefore that was me networking, and I had asked Spirit, kind of show me where to go in Florida. So I'm being open and I'm revisiting the Atlantic side, the sort of not way high up, but not way far down as far as Fort Lauderdale. So that would be the Stewart, Port Lucie, even could be Lantana, um, Boynton Beach. And so there in half an hour in, like sort of that area, and just see what happens. And for me, as an adventure on the road, my most of my fear has not been merely the money. It has been merely my pets, and know that I'm uprooting them from a place they were kittens in, and also going into warmer weather and going, okay. So I have attracted some dis-ease in my emotional non-trust, even though I would say I'm fairly to very trusting, and also here as a leader and example, and sharing my growth and my way with you so that you will have courage and you will take heart and you will springboard to where you want to go because you see someone else who's willing to just showcase everything and show you the growth or be that growth and that change. And you won't perhaps feel alone. So, okay, so let me start to pull together some stuff, and I'm still going to try to get this so it's not. Uh-oh. Well, that could be cleaned up after. I don't know that anything really busted. It's just messy. Okay. Lots to do after I do this. Lots to do. Okay, hang on a second. So, no. All right. Where are the cards are over there? 1, 2, 3. Hoping to get to the. Oh, cats. There are a couple of cards calling. I'm gonna let that go. Queen of Fire and 10 of. There was one major one, then one other card is calling me to use. Put that aside. So that's that. Let's see about the Oracle. I don't know if this will end up being a little bit of overkill. Let's see. Okay, my Oracle, I'm just looking for a couple of cards that bring us into an awareness for our emotions and health and Emotions, health, and next step moving forward. Right? Emotions, health, next step, and the moving forward wisely. There's a couple of cards on this. Emotions, health, moving forward wisely. Emotions, health. Emotions, health, moving forward wisely. Emotions, great. Health, moving forward wisely. Emotions, health, moving forward wisely. Emotions. Okay, so basically what I dropped were the items I keep burning incense in. So a couple of seashells and these little round things that hold the stick incense and matches and a lot of incense dust. So I'll have to go in there. Yeah, I'll have to go in there. Not now. So with the oracle cards, I'm going to just take it really loosely. There may be a couple I want to read. But what came out with the oracle cards was an icon, a warrior, someone taking a stand, leading a rebellion, leading people to freedom. And I'll show the card in a moment. Then there's a divine union. So it's us, in partnership if we don't have a partner, but it is in us in divine union. We may be single, but we can still be in divine union, and remembering that we're being watched over, and lots of trust. And then there's remove the mask of your everyday persona. So the wondering of, should I stay? Do I belong here? I'm thinking about another place. Maybe I should go back. Maybe, where do I really belong? What do I really do? Who am I really? Who do I trust? Should I have trusted this other situation? Or now that I'm here? So removing the mask of everyday persona and expand your horizons, which ultimately for us, our emotions are our wealth, and emotions are our health. And that we want to be wise how we treat ourselves, how we're perceiving what we're actually living and attracting, so that we won't cause ourselves dis-ease. So, and let me write down the numbers for this too, so it'll be exciting. That's not going to have very much. Now, this was kind of a new thing for me to sort of come up with, so we're just going to see how it might make sense, how it might go together. I don't think it has to be super in-depth. So 25 is a 7. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. And then 44 is 8. Never-ending cosmos, infinity symbol, abundance. 32 is 5. So this is going to be adventure, change, manifestation, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. And then another 4, which is being, belief of faith. So that's the last one on that one. So that's card 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So when I see, I don't want to pull the tarot just yet. Let's see how they'll all. I have pulled the tarot, but I just want to see. In fact, I don't think I'm going to pull a third tarot card because this other card that was facing up really called me. So there is a tarot card to introduce, and there is the which is Ten of Fire, and then Queen of Fire. Queen of Fire. Interesting. Okay, so let me just go to that, and let me just go to these other pages. So take a stand. I'm going to see how this might relate to our health. So, take a stand. Okay. And that was number 7. Prepare for spiritual awakening in recognition of our emotions, our wealth, our health, and how we might move wisely forward, understanding that when we have disease, it is our emotions, and how to partner with it so we can move wisely forward. This is your beliefs define your character. Protect yourself with spiritual armor. Stand firmly on the ground and hold true your commitments. What are you going through that's new for you and afraid to move forward with? Or what do you hold true to and are you maybe absolutely moving forward with? And you're noticing other things about you slip away because you are choosing to move forward, and you're not comparing yourself, and you're not stuck in the past on how am I going to do this or who am I becoming. You are becoming, and are amazing. And you're taking your stand to do your next thing. It's like, it's no definition, you're just doing your next thing. And you are being your beliefs and your commitment. And you are partnering with spirit. And you do have, in their sense, spiritual armor. Now, you know how I feel about armor, or the frequency of love and armor is more like it's a frequency. So you're donning your spirituality, you're donning your amazingness and moving forward in your amazingness. So divine union is the next one. Gosh, it's 96. Basically, it looks like all these cards are putting what the iconic or the archetype is putting it back on us is that we are divine beings in a human experience. We really are masterful. And the old way is to worry and find excuses not to be masterful. And it limits us, and our emotions create disease or create stagnation. And then the body gets our attention, and we've got to then treat that nowness. We can certainly pull in the spiritual mantras, but then we have to treat that moment because that's what we have, but looking forward and not staying in that fear that created that emotional stagnation. So this one, divine union, number 44 or 8. You're made of star stuff. Access the DNA connections to your star family. That is through commanding and calling in, requesting, petitioning, asking, invoking. If invoking is, sometimes the word invoke maybe has a witchy connotation and that doesn't feel right to you. But this is like up in the sky, our star family, and everyone's listening to us. So they want us to be our more selves. Yeah, they're waiting to interact with you. So, and again, eight is abundance, prosperity, infinite supplies for you. Sign of success, empower yourself. And 8 is a boost of confidence, energy, the flow of money, boost of confidence. So perhaps in my case, there was that not boost of confidence. Kind of keep moving up my day. Things keep happening, which is true. Some things kept happening. And now I'm nailing myself down and really scared, but I'm looking at end of April, and then I want to say May 1st, May 10th, latest. But I don't want to keep going further on. It's like there's always going to be something. So I may have shared, I need new tires, getting the title of my car now that's paid off. So that will come by the end of April or the middle of April. And I'm going to be working quite extra as a rideshare driver, but not wanting at all to forget my spiritual passions and my energy assist passions. That's really how I want to be of service in the world. So I am of service when I drive, but my passions happen to be in the healing, like creative arts and creating things and wanting to have discussions and spiritual cinema. So a lot of things. Anyway, so these cards, the warrioress, the couple, they're showing us our divine connection. They're showing us our mastery. They're showing us to be truly connected, reminding us we're made of stardust, star stuff. Take a stand. Remove the mask of your everyday persona. That one's an interesting one. It happens to be in number 5, which is about change and manifestation and adventure and making changes around you and being appreciative of what you have around you. But you may go on a journey. You may go on a journey. Are you going on your spiritual journey now? Are you allowing yourself to evolve? You may just be just fine where you are staying physically. Is the journey within and without? Is a journey a physical one? And are you holding yourself back? Are there little inklings of dis-ease around you that you can treat and do something for, called not hold yourself in comparison to the past of what you used to do? So let's see what how this one might relate to, our health and moving forward. So it's a 72. Almost there. Okay. So emotions, health, the next steps going forward or going forward wisely. Okay, let's see. Magic and ritual can sometimes help to be able to act out a different scenario in other realm of existence. Use mystical symbols and costumes allow you the freedom to recreate or try it out. The use of mythic symbols and costumes allow you the freedom to recreate or try it out. As far as our health goes, as far as moving forward wisely. Right now, what happens for me is using these cards as a tool to go forward wisely. To use crystals and partnering with crystals as tools, as helpers to remind me to go forward wisely. The partnership of homeopathic items that exists in our cupboard or exists very easily in grocery stores to help us go forward wisely. And 5, change, adventure, appreciation, gratitude, abundance. You may go on a journey, listening to your body, listening to your body. And the elements of earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Expand your horizons, number 4. Well, that is a being. That's being. That's leap of faith. That's leap of faith. That's the last one in the oracle suggestion. Yeah. Getting out of your comfort zone, honoring your foundation, but being in you. It's a number of stability, a routine. Honor yourself. Yeah, get out of your comfort zone, create a sacred space. So, for example, even for me, while I'm here, while I'm preparing to go, daily creating a sacred space and sacred understanding and getting deeper into that, allowing myself to get deeper into that, not forgetting that part. And also, even though I took a short walk today, and I related to a robin. I walked by a robin. Maybe I was about 7, no more than 10 feet away, but I don't want to lie about it. So I'm trying to see how far I was. I was definitely my height, so definitely 5 feet to 8 feet away. And I walked by slow, and the robin looked at me, and I looked at it. It didn't fly away. It was just noticing neighborhood, and it was calm. And I'd like to think it was trusting and calm, because I was trusting and calm, and I was talking to it. And so it's just creating a sacred space, honoring the space around you, honoring this space around me, this place that has housed me, even with its dysfunction, or what I judge as dysfunction, or what is dysfunction, in years of dysfunction when I used to live here. But it's appreciation of this space right now that I can have this conversation with you, that I can show cards, that I can relate with the cards spiritually, that it gives us some insight into our health and how it relates to, moving forward wisely, right? Always. Oh gosh, what did I do? This bag that I wrote this stuff down keeps moving. Like it's just emotions, health. What are we feeling in any lack? What are we feeling in the can't do-ness? What are we feeling in our can do-ness? What are we missing? And yet, not to hold us back, what are we allowing in? What are we inviting in? Health, next steps, and using wisely. Expand your horizons. It's number 4, being a leap of faith. Okay. Yeah. Begin a quest on a hero or heroine's journey. Whether you are moving the physical body or just your mind, you will accumulate knowledge for yourself. And did I just say this? You are accumulating knowledge for yourself and others. This can shift the current paradigm. I basically just was saying this with the last 3 cards. Begin a quest on the hero's or heroine's journey. Whether you are moving the physical body or just your mind, you will accumulate knowledge for yourself, for others. This can shift the current paradigm. So I'm recognizing as my example in me, I'm in the process of shifting realities. I bet you are in a place where you are turning over to shift realities. I bet you are in a place where you might be contemplating, for example, seeing how your emotions and health and moving forward are all connected. And how in emotions and health are you very present to allow you to move fully and abundantly forward? Is there something that you may be holding you back a little and you'd like to adjust, fine tune, that you might like having a Louise Hay list of things, or even just oracle and tarot cards as a reminder for, and taking a look at health and how to partner with and be in our spiritual evolution expansion. We're divine beings in the human body, but at some point, we also, while we acknowledge this physical stuff and what's happening, we must fall back on, I am a divine being, and I'm going to handle this, and I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to shift it, change it, allow it. I'm going to understand that, oh yeah, well that's it, but that's temporary, and I'm going to allow the change. I'm going to allow the freedom. I'm going to allow the expansion. So all together, why did I write down these numbers? Let's see. 7 and 8, that's 15. 9, 19, 20, 24. Okay, so altogether we have a 8 and 8, 16, 15. and 9. So that's 24, which is a 6. But I also have another 10, the 10 of fire. I'm not going to add that in. I'll keep it separate because a 10 becomes 1. Okay, so oh my gosh. So emotions, health, and how we can move forward wisely. Number 6, rid your life of negative energy. Connect to your higher self. Embrace inner peace, care, self-love, self-care. Whew. When in fear, you may attract 6s as to be a mirror. So just be aware and say to yourself, find a way, show or reveal, lead me to a solution. You can do anything. Connect with your guides. Self-talk and uplift ways do mirror work. So rid your life of negative energy. So yes. So addressing the health, we want to find ways to reaffirm in the positive something we might be going through. An affirmation is any thought we think over and over again. An affirmation is a thought. We can say any kind of an affirmation. Sometimes we've said, fuck off, you dummy. Sometimes we've said, I love you, I really love you, I love you so much, I love you. Those are affirmations because those are words from thoughts we think over and over. So you can make up your affirmation as well. You might be inspired by Louise Hay in your health, in your emotions, to create something on the positive that's easy and feels right for you and uplifting that launches you into connection of your wealth of your emotional physical state that is your health, that is your brightness, your coping skills, your manifestation power. Yeah. And number 1, straight like an arrow, assertive, strong, individual, self, know thyself, the power within, great start to new beginnings. So let me just read, and I'll show you the tarot cards that I think were pertinent to this. Maybe they'll make sense and maybe they won't. But I'm going to read what the author said for those. So. And the first one, which was, I thought would somehow lead to tonight's theme for our emotions, health, and the the moving forward. So let's see if we can find correlation with this, and it may not. I also have at the end the Queen of Fire. So you may glean something from this. We're going to do the 10 of Fire first. Okay. In terms of health, in terms of wanting to, this is like probably just being a little tired, not remembering. So the emotions, health, and next steps, moving forward wisely. Emotions, health, next steps, moving forward wisely. The 10 of Fire is saying, burning away, releasing the excess, endings, clear way for beginners. Well, if every day is new, then we begin every day new, and we're beginners. Burning away, releasing the excess, endings, clear way. Oh, pardon me, I said this incorrectly. I've done that 3 times now tonight. Burning away, releasing the excess, endings, clear way for beginnings. Sometimes I'm thinking the disease we attract in mirrors the clear ways for us to go forward, for us to understand what we were doing to the self, if we're willing, take full accountability and move forward. Be with and move past, move into the new. So 10 of Fire says, I may be overcommitted and have taken on too many burdens. In this moment, I do the work of decluttering my life. All that I release will take new form and serve the greater whole. But I no longer need to hold on to it simply because it once seemed to have been value for me. I thank it for what it did for me, but say goodbye to the emotions, relationships, situations that I realize do not belong in my life anymore. Me on my journey, my healing part of my journey, and what that may be, opening to all of this, and perhaps you on your physical or spiritual mental journey of health, of taking a look at symptoms and being empowered to wisely move forward. I want to read this again. This is so powerful. I may be overcommitted and have taken on too many burdens. In this moment, I do the work of decluttering my life. All that I release will take new form and serve the greater whole, but I no longer need to hold on to it simply because it once seemed to have been of value for me. I thank it for what it did for me, but say goodbye to the emotions, relationships, and situations that I realize do not belong in my life anymore. And that was the Ten of Fire. That, know thyself, go into thyself, being number one, straight as an arrow. Queen of Fire. Wow. And in your health and how you discover the wealth of health and the emotions and moving forward. So let's see. And this may not come to mind at the moment, or maybe at the end of my reading here, I will, but it may be clear for you. The Queen of Fire, creative collaborations, soul connections, passion inspired by spirit, artist. I am capable of strong friendships that inspire me and encourage me to express myself in my own way. I co-create with others, dedicated to a vision of achieving the highest good of all. How might I join in the dance of co-creation, letting spirit flow through me and inspire me to express my passions? Now, I'm just wondering if when I saw this was saved for me because it resonates so deeply with who I am now, as having attracted emotions that gave me a particular state of health that I didn't realize till like all of a sudden it really was in my face, really big time, instead of just sneaking up slow. It didn't have my attention, and it really needed my attention, but it didn't have my attention till it was wham, really, exaggerated or exasperating me. And Queen of Fire. So, is there another card I should try to risk pulling out? Right? For our emotions, health, and moving forward wisely. Next steps. The next steps. Emotions, health. Well, this will either help or no. Two. Two is about balance, yin yang. Oh, hang on. I'll show you. Two of air. This is a dancer. This is fluid. This is there's all like this is expression. Two of air. Well, I don't know that it really has anything. Maybe in our health, we are sometimes like this because the emotions that created whatever state of health we're in. Time to ponder. So two of air will say, stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Take time to break, time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There's no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in peaceful state of mind. if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. So, with these cards, perhaps, if we're addressing our emotions and our health, instead of getting upset about health, taking a breath and a breather for re-examine, for solutions to come, working with what is, being open to the solution, and just know that for the highest good, that answer will come. Now, I've been working with, I'm going to use some warm water, apple cider vinegar. Some people say put baking soda in that water too. I'm pretty sure, not that I'm going to show you, that after a couple of times of soaking my feet, the inflammation looks a little bit better. However, there'll be diligence with tea tree oil and oregano, not only topically, but oregano orally intake, and garlic intake, and turmeric intake. And it's all because now that I have a physical condition, and this now needs to be addressed. However, it's mirroring the health of emotions of where I was afraid to move myself into. It's a big time of trust. And now it's come time to laugh more, move ahead, have a couple of weeks of a financial, perhaps goal setting, but don't let the financial of that hold me back from the launch. Because many things happen on the road when you start to navigate on faith and people show up. So, yes, I'm hoping long distance to make some connection just before I get on the road. There is that little bit of fear of charging my phones and where I'm staying, having the cats, and when I do land and paying a stipend to land for the night, that we truly are restful and playful and sleep well. And the next day, move out with breath and some envisioning of comfort, care, kindness. I know this was a little bit unusual. I really didn't want to make this all about my issue. I wanted to partner out there that maybe as part of my example, this might help you, taking the cards and applying it to you in the state of where you are. Maybe they were helpful. Maybe they offer some insight, and maybe not. And if it doesn't, you just let it go. Take the ones that do resonate. The cards are always read in a positive manner because I'm wanting to support myself on my journey, of course, but I also want to be of service to you, that you find something that resonates, uplifts your heart, brings you more ease and peace, and gives you a way to language your next step to be with all that might be in emotions, in health, and in your bright next steps. I really appreciate you showing up. Thank you for you. My little Kylie heart loves you, and you are powered by the stars. Let's activate the power within.